Welcome to Honeybee, real stories of love, lies, and betrayal, where every truth stings. Let's begin. For 2 years, I made a habit of tearing him down. I'd poke fun at his job, his clothes, his hobbies, even the way he dreamed. What started as light teasing gradually became biting remarks. Bob comments disguised as humor. I can't even pinpoint when it changed, when my words stopped being playful and began to cut, but I remember the look in his eyes. Every time I cross a line, that flicker, that subtle dimming inside him. And still, I didn't stop. He worked long hours at a job that barely paid the bills, but he believed in it. He truly felt he was making a difference. He'd come home and talk about the people he helped, the little wins, the purpose he found in giving back. And me? I'd roll my eyes, slow clapping with thick sarcasm, telling him he was throwing his potential away. He'd bring me books that inspired him, stories that stirred his soul. I'd leave them untouched on the coffee table for weeks. He planned sweet gestures, homemade meals, handwritten notes tucked in my purse, gifts crafted with love, and I brushed them off as childish. I told him romance was outdated, that no one cared for corny gestures anymore. I thought I was just being honest, realistic, grounded. I didn't realize I was slowly wearing down someone who was already giving me everything he had. I crushed the softness in him. Bit by bit, he tried to talk to me once. I remember that night like a scar. We were on the couch, TV light dancing on his face, and he turned to me, not angry, just exhausted, in a quiet, almost tender voice. He said he didn't feel loved, that he felt like a burden, a joke. I didn't reach out to comfort him. I didn't hear him. I told him he was too sensitive, that he needed to toughen up. I twisted it all, made it about him being fragile, instead of facing my own cruelty. And when his voice broke, when tears streamed down his face, as he bared his soul, I laughed. I actually laughed. I thought he was being over the top, too emotional. I convinced myself I was a strong one, the grown-up, the realist. But I was blind. I didn't see that I was slowly breaking the spirit of a man who once looked at me like I hung the stars. And then one morning, he was gone. I woke up to a colder world. His side of the closet was empty, the drawers bare, no note on the counter, no confrontation, just a short message on my phone. I need to heal. Please don't reach out. I wish you peace. That was it. No blame, no rage, just silence. And then he vanished, blocked me everywhere. No Instagram, no phone number, no trace left behind. At first, I was furious. How could he leave without letting me explain, defend myself? Didn't he owe me a goodbye? But as hours turned into days, and days slid into long, quiet weeks, the anger faded, replaced by something heavier, guilt. It crept in slowly, like a rising tide. I began remembering every moment I brushed aside, every time he opened up, and I rolled my eyes or sighed in frustration. I remembered his smile, how it used to light up his whole face, so full, so unguarded, until it faded to something barely there. I recalled how he used to speak, about his dreams with joy, how he'd light up when talking about the future, until one day, he just stopped, because I made him feel small. I mocked everything he loved, everything that made him who he was. And still, he loved me. For a while, he gave me kindness. When I offered only ridicule, he gave me love. When I returned cold, detached logic, and when there was nothing left in him to give, he walked away, quietly, with grace. A mutual friend told me later that he'd moved to another city, started a new chapter, changed jobs, deleted every account that tied him to the life we once shared. He didn't want to be found. I never reached out, even though I knew how. I respected his need for silence, because for the first time, I understood how deeply he needed it. That silence was the loudest sound I've ever known. Maybe he'll never want to hear my voice again. Maybe what I broke can never be repaired, but not a single day passes without me carrying the weight of what I did, The hardest part isn't that he left. The hardest part is knowing why he had to. I drove away someone who would have stood beside me through any storm. Someone gentle, someone kind, someone who believed in love, even when I treated it like a joke. Now, I live in a quiet house, where his laughter used to dance across the walls. I still walk past the places we once shared. That park bench where he read me poetry. The diner with the awful coffee he insisted was charming. Sometimes I look through old photos. In every single one, his smiling. That pure, open smile you can't fake. Back then, I didn't realize how rare that kind of joy was. Now I do. Regret doesn't shout. It sits beside you. It rides in the passenger seat. It watches from the mirror. It reminds you of the warmth you once held and how you let it slip away because of pride, stubbornness, and a twisted view of strength. I hope is with someone now who sees him with admiration, not mockery. Someone who reads the books he gives her, who listens when he shares his dreams. Someone who claps for him because that's all he ever deserved. And I hope one day I become someone who would have deserved him, too.